In a court of law. Okay, everybody ready? I'm just jumping in. John, you can edit here, but you should just have edited from the start. Hello, and welcome to Techlandia. How are you doing today? I am John Samuelson, aka iPad Sammy on the Twitters, in Beaverton, Oregon. Over across town in Portland, Oregon, we have the charming and talented First Lady of EdTech. Hi, I'm Allison Anderson, also known as Ted Rose Cece. I'm driving in the car right now, and I'll be there in a minute. Okay, Allison, thank you very much for doing that. And over in La Crosse, Wisconsin, we have almost ready for school principal, aka
Kurt Reese, and on Twitter you can find me at Kurt Reese.
Kurt Reese, also known as 8 Amber 8's #1 fan. Wait, I wasn't supposed to say her name. Oh, already a fail on that one. I broke it. Okay, well, I guess I can
everybody loves Amber.
Again.
Everybody loves Amber.
That's right. She is such a nice person. Even though she on Voxer, she completely tears me down. She thinks it's really funny when nobody can hear her. She's syrupy sweet on the Twitters, and then when you get her in Voxer, she's just beats me with a rolling pin every time, just beating me down. Talking about how great Matt P. Gomez is. I probably do, actually.
Matt's okay. He's all right.
Okay, I know this is going to sound like a shocker to everyone, but our educator with us today is from the state of California. Is that a shocker, Kurt? I think we've gotten everybody, really, right? Have we gotten all the important people? No, there's so many great people in California, but
we're waiting on Techlandia. We have to make it happen.
That's right. We did have a special show, Lisa, Techlandia, ready to go, and we were going to actually just let Craig host. So we'll have to wait until he's done with softball, though.
Okay.
Because he's working it. I heard he's the MVP shortstop for his school softball team.
All right.
Although he is playing against fifth graders, so I don't know.
Yeah, pull him away from the game then.
He's kind of like Kramer in the karate class.
Yeah,
but anyway, all right, so we haven't given you a proper introduction. We've been waiting to have Lisa Highfill on here for a long time, and we're happy to have her on. I've been only promising her since almost the last Integrated Ed SF, and now it's almost upon us again. So thank you for waiting 10 months. Cool. Lisa Highfill. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Last time I saw you, we were having a cookie sandwich, but you didn't partake. It was only me and Bill Selleck.
I was watching you make decisions on. I did not guess that you would go for the coconut fruit thing.
Yeah, I go for the weird. Anything with fruit or it's weird. That's like my ice cream flavor. Anything fruity.
Yeah, I was trying to push the salted caramel or chocolate or something, and both of you have that in common.
I know I even got a lemon cookie with it, too. Hey, Kurt, the place in California was called Cream. Cookies rule everything around me. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, reminds me of Prince. Cream, get on top.
Okay. I was saying it was a hat tip to the Wu-Tang Clan because they have that Cream Cash Rules Everything Around Me song. But yes, also Prince, one of my other favorites. Well, Lisa, we'd love to talk to you about what you want to talk about. On Techlandia, we have the guest talk about 3 things, or in Moss Pike's situation last week, 8 or 9 or 10 things, because he thinks at 1,000 times per second. But I really like talking with Moss. Have you bumped across Moss Pike a lot in California, Lisa?
I have at conferences. We kind of keep crossing paths a little bit there.
He's a really good guy, and we really liked talking with Moss. He has a lot of cool ideas, and as I was making the links, I think it was probably Saturday or Sunday. Holy cow! I was just like, geez, he was talking about this, talking about that, talking about all the books he read. It reminds me of a young Kurt Reese.
back when I was a pup.
Reading books all over the place, valedictorian of his class. All right, Lisa, go ahead and talk about your first thing on the document, and I will be taking notes for our Listly list, so go right ahead.
Great. So I put on there, I'd love to talk about hyperdocs and multimedia text sets. And people have probably been hearing about multimedia text sets. They're basically you take a plain old Google Doc and you put a table, and you can put lots of links to lots of different resources that can really change the way you deliver your instruction in your classroom. I am working as an instructional tech coach now. I was a 5th grade teacher for 20 years, and as
Great. How long? How long were you a 5th grade teacher for?
20 years.
Wow.
So
Did you start when you were 12? Come on, Lisa.
Thank you. Well, this is my first year without grading essays every night, so it's quite a change. So my head just was spinning. I'm like, how am I going to help these teachers out with not just adopting new curriculum with Common Core, but kind of changing the way they deliver their curriculum and get rid of the lecture, the stand and deliver. And my whole goal was one thing, and that's maximizing face time with kids. How can you do that and integrate technology and integrate all these great teaching methods? So we came up with these multimedia text sets, which are basically just a collection of really good apps and links and resources so that you can say, everyone, here's your shortened URL, get on, here's your doc for the next week, start exploring. And what it does is it gives kids choice. It gives them it's very inquiry based, so as they're exploring through links, they're building background knowledge, and they're kind of trying to, they have some assignments to go with them that really kind of direct them, so there is an expectation that they're going to accomplish something. And so that's kind of one thing. It kind of appealed to the organization of the teachers are kind of craving, and that was like my window in to work with people, because they could relate to the organizational piece. The second piece to that is hyperdocs, and hyperdocs came about. The ELA tech coach and I, my friend Sarah Landis, we were sitting around and we had no idea what to call this thing we were making. And we are really not great at naming things. And so we first were calling them live docs, but then when you read it, it's live docs, and that didn't really work. And people were mispronouncing it. And then, so then we said hyperdocs, and everyone thought we were talking about Hyper Studio, and that kind of ages you. When you do that. And then I'm going to turn on some light here. It's getting darker and darker. And then I'm sitting in the dark. So that we came up with the name HyperDoc because we wanted to be known as it's a Google document, but it's a really innovative digital lesson plan. So it kind of, to fit with multimedia text sets, it's a piece of a text set. So inside a text set, you might have a video, you might have an article, you might have maybe everyone read your textbook page, kind of blended learning on there. But then hidden within that is like this nugget of this awesome lesson. And it's this hyperdoc, and it is like going down the rabbit hole. You click on it, and the kids are like, wow, what is this? And you want to intrigue them, you want to hook them. And so you start putting links together on there where kids can, it's kind of the best of using Google tools, where you can get all the kids onto the doc and they can then link together. Somebody called them today web quests on steroids.
Yeah, I remember the WebQuest. Whoa.
Yeah, they're kind of like that, except for they follow a lesson plan format. I'm a workshop teacher. I do Readers and Writers Workshop, and so I wanted to put that kind of thinking curriculum into this. So there's pieces to it where it has links for them to go and explore, and then places for them, like then it would link to a Padlet and share your thinking collaboratively, and then look at your classmates, and then now that you have this information, take that information and build a collaborative slide deck. Well, everything is kind of linked together on this HyperDoc with the instructions. And so as the teacher, I'm not standing up there going through this multi-layered lesson. Everyone pause, let me explain. I don't have to do that anymore. I give them a shortened URL, they have at it. And you cannot believe what that does for you as a teacher, because it frees up all your time. Now, where are you? You're pulling small groups. You are sitting with individuals who are struggling. You're working. You have your time with your English language learners that to work with them one-on-one. And you know what? You're sitting down and you're connecting with kids while they're learning, and you're pushing them to go to these deeper levels of thinking. It's been really fun to create. So that's kind of on the teacher side, what HyperDocs are good for and multimedia tech sets. But an outcome of this after a year of doing these, my favorite, I did not expect this. When you think back to when you first started teaching and you were really excited when you created a really great lesson and you couldn't wait to, have the kids try it out, and you didn't have that experience.
I never had a lesson like that. Gosh, 17 years, I never had a good lesson. It was horrible.
I was always, I was like, oh, I can't wait for them to try it. And then sometimes they're like, that was lame, and you're like, what?
Yes. Oh, that feeling I've had where I'm like, this is awesome. Oh, that one didn't go like I thought it did.
So, my brain is constantly spinning about how can I get kids engaged and excited and curious. And so these became this ultimate quest. I want the kids to walk in every day and say, what are we going to do today? Not oh, what do we have to do today? And so they started what's in store? And I would create these this mystery docs of this exciting lessons to do. And the piece to it that I didn't expect was how fun it was to create these lessons, kind of getting back to the fun and lesson planning. And once you get excited and all inspired, then the kids get all excited and inspired, and it starts this positive cycle that has been really amazing. As we're trying to bring about change in the district and changing the way people deliver instructions, this kind of has been our, big success piece to making that happen. There, I'll have to take a breath. Sorry, I said it all in one breath.
That's cool. And now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is what you talked about. So I went to this session. Isn't this what you talked about at PDX? Didn't you? Isn't it the one where you talked about where you kind of let them down? It was the avalanche video.
Yes. Now that is a multimedia tech set where I want to build a bunch of background knowledge, and I don't want to stand up every day and lecture. I want to give you all the pieces to build up the background knowledge, and all it does is it changes your starting line for teaching in the classroom. So instead of every day you're like, okay, today we're going to learn about, now you say, all right, you've spent a week exploring this content. Show me what you know. Here's a bunch of web tools. I want you to create and show me now what you know. And you can have these, it's really important to have that reflection time with kids, because you got to revise their schema. They might have totally missed the point of an article, or they might only be getting it on a really shallow level. You might want to try to push them to, a little bit higher depth of knowledge. And so that's where you come in. It's that reflection and time at the end of work time with kids. It's also really great for flipping the classroom too, because these documents can be opened at home. They can be a blended learning. You can do part in class together and then part on their own. There's so many different ways you can use them.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I really enjoyed your session in IPDX conference.
Thank you.
It was very interesting. I forget why I had to leave though. I think maybe I had to leave to go set up for that stupid Techlandia live thing. I think that was it. I think I had to go leave, and we had to go try and work out all the kinks on that one.
I think my link wasn't working that day.
That's my ad. Ad in there.
There we go. There's Allison coming in with the sound effects.
That's how you feel when you gotta leave Lisa's session early.
Oh. No, my mojo was off on that session. My link wasn't working, and I got all thrown off. But that's okay.
I couldn't tell. I thought it was great. I loved it, and I was like, darn it, I have to leave now. But yeah, that was a really good one, and yeah, I think that's really interesting. I mean, when we used to do the you think how long ago was WebQuest? Might have been around when floppy disks were around, still not that long ago. But
definitely.
Pretty close, 90. I remember those from 96 when I first started teaching. It was just so fun, and and those were. They were always interesting, and it always makes me smile a little bit when I hear people are still talking about WebQuest and things like that. I'm like, oh, really? You're still 8 or 18 years, it's still going.
If there's good teaching methods, they always come back around. They swing back in. I think it's Important, though, to remember that, we don't want to just substitute a paper worksheet for these hyperdocs. And it can really end up that way, so you have to be careful. You have to make sure you're doing something that you never could do before, and that's kind of the key part to it. It's a little different.
You are talking my Sammer language.
Right.
Go beyond
That's right, you're redefining.
substitution.
Oh, yeah. And so you have to, sometimes I'll do like part 1 on a hyperdoc and I'll think, oh, I could do this on paper. So then I have to add to the hyperdoc, and that's why we call them live docs. When you would get worksheets or packets and you hand them out, it's dead. That assignment is done. But this is actually really great for project-based learning, because if you're really doing project-based learning, you are going on these left turns all the time. The kids take you down these avenues you didn't realize you were going to even venture into. Well, you can keep adding to the hyperdoc, and add more resources for them. You can curate some content along those avenues, or completely change the activity.
That's very cool. I like that. All right, well, that's good. I like that. Kurt, you might have just given me the title. I'm always listening now for that's my new thing, is I listen for like a little title in the thing. Maybe we'll call this one Beyond Substitution. Ooh, that's deep. That hits us like a Sammer sledgehammer. All right, so you know what? I'm really interested to hear more about this, because I remember we were talking about this right before we got our ice cream cookie.
Yes.
And I want to talk about your project with Rushton Hurley. Now, Rushton has not been on the show, but he does fit the criteria because he's from California. So maybe Rushton will be on the show pretty soon.
He'll be next,
since he's
right?
a California educator.
Well, he's incredible, and he has started a new project, and it's the Geo Video Project. He's really does so much with Next Vista for Learning, his website. And so he's kind of gone into the area of, he's connected 13 schools from around the globe, and I'm helping him a little bit on the project to help connect these schools. And the idea is they will each create 10 videos that help define their place and where they're at according to geography. And we're doing it based on the 5 themes of geography. So for example, one of the teachers was talking the other day and said, one of my videos, I think it would be really cool if we just did a video about school lunches. And think about that. Like, if you're creating a video here in Pleasanton, California, your school lunch is going to look very different from the lunches in South Africa or the lunches in South America, or there's a school in Singapore. And it's going to be really neat. So we'll be creating these videos that help define place as to the geography, and how geography defines who we are and how we live, and kind of what makes us different. And everyone is able to take a different angle at it. We're using Google Collaborative Tools to get these schools all connecting, these teachers connecting together. We'll be using WeVideo to create the videos that will end up culminating and posting in a common site that we'll then reflect on. It's a really cool project. I can't wait to see what starts to come from it. Right now we're just beginning phases. We're connecting teachers, having them talk to each other, and talking about ways that you can build a sense of place, get kids thinking about place, and even what defines you. I know our students, and depending on the grade level, my students, for example, think that everyone gets their water from the faucet, and we have really hard water in our community, so they won't drink the water out of the faucet. So I think some of those kinds of thinking, that they couldn't believe. And now this is elementary school. They couldn't believe that there are people around the world who have to travel to get their water, and so that's going to be interesting to share that about place and about the place you come from. Plus, every project Rushton does is absolutely amazing.
Yes, he's a talented fella.
Yeah.
He is. He's a very nice guy, too. Remember when we went to his session at IPD? We keep going back to IPDX, but it's true. We saw. Remember Allison? We were sitting. Mm-hmm. Allison found that's when she definitely would not go to sessions with me ever again. And I sat there and threw little spitballs at her the whole time. But that was a good one.
That's when I think we discovered Google Art Project, and something else that was just like
Yeah, he was just
crazy. So cool.
he was just giving out some gems, and he was just so mellow about like his delivery and stuff. It was a good presentation too. He just sat there, and I think that was like a 2-hour session actually.
And he just
we just took a little break. It was fun.
kept going.
He always shares really great video too, which kind of always gets me thinking, which inspires me to make content with it. So a lot of my hyperdocs started from good videos that he shared. And actually I've been working on, this idea came from Joanne Fox actually. We were chatting about hyperdocs, and she said, what about hyper maps?
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool. That's awesome. So now we're doing Google Maps Lite, and we are, I love video. I love good video. And so we're doing place-based video, and we're putting markers and embedding the video on the markers on the maps, and then giving prompts that get you thinking, so that the videos that you watch, if it takes place in India, it's actually marked where the video takes place, and kids can actually zoom in and see on the map where that is. So it's kind of spurring on, like one activity, blends together.
That's all right. So that's interesting because this probably more than you need to know about my life. But so then last night I was watching one of the videos from St. Louis, and I remember they were walking down like. Kurt, you used to live in St. Louis, didn't you live in St. Louis?
I did, yeah, 4 years.
Okay. So when I was watching what was going on, like the protests and things, and I actually opened up a tab, and I was like, okay, I think I can probably find where this is actually at, as I've been watching it for about a half hour. So I just went to my Google Map, and I looked, and then I put it down there, and yeah, sure enough, I could find exactly on the map where they were filming the video. So I just did that kind of instinctively myself. But yeah, it was really interesting. It gave a little bit more depth to where it was then, because I hadn't lived in St. Louis, but I lived in Missouri, in Columbia, for a little bit, and I've been to St. Louis many times. So I was like, okay, where is this at? Kurt, do you know where all the stuff is taking place in St. Louis? Or did you live there?
Yeah, Ferguson. I think it's I-64. I forget which interstate goes right through there, but it's kind of on the north side, over by Florissant, and I've driven through there many times. Pretty quiet place, but of course, probably most of my time was on the interstate. But I think it's very sad, and just looking at a lot of the commentary that's going on social media, everybody has an opinion. I don't think they have a right to it about being so judgmental. Obviously things are pretty rough in that part of the world for there to be such a violent reaction like there has been. So we don't know all the facts, but if you do want to see like first person reporting, follow Antonio French, and that's his Twitter handle, Antonio French. I believe he lives in Ferguson. And he's on the city council or something in that area, but he's sharing a lot of good information about what's actually happening in Ferguson.
It's hard to believe that it's still going on. It's been going on for over a week, and then I want to apologize too, because actually I had set out my first auto tweet probably of 2014, and I was actually knew that Carl Lincolnstreicher Omelet was making his California Ed Chat rounds, because they do all those things. By the way, California Ed Chat, do you know what's going on with David Terrio, Lisa? Do you know what's up with him?
I don't. What is up with him lately?
Okay, I don't know. We're just trying to get to the bottom of this. We're trying to ask
I heard, though.
That.
Okay.
No, we got to talk about it.
But so anyway, I sent out a tweet where I was kind of just making fun of Carl, but I sent it out as an auto tweet, and they were actually talking about Ferguson during the California Ed Chat. So then I think I popped like some tweet in, and then Craig Yen said, "Oh, we're talking about something serious here, and don't make fun of it." And I was like, "Oh, darn it! I sent that tweet like 3 days ago or whatever." So I apologize. I wasn't trying to be insensitive. I was just trying to be a goofball, and that'll teach me. And I probably will never auto tweet ever again. So that was my one for the year. But that was good for Carl to take that. I would have liked to have been in there. I think I wasn't around the computer then, but I would have liked to have been in on that California Ed Chat where they were actually talking about Ferguson. I bet they had since Carl's the social studies teacher, I bet he had some good takes on that.
Oh yeah, I missed that also. Darn.
So anyway, it wasn't me trying to. I'm sorry, I was not trying to be like that.
All right.
I've been watching the Vice news feed. That's what I've been watching. So there's a Vice news channel. I think I tweeted it out last night, and it's a reporter that sits there, and he was doing a really good job. I watched it for like an hour.
All right. And being someone who wants to make sure I'm accurate with what I say, I'd said that Ferguson is along I-64. It's not true. It is right between 270 and 70 in North St. Louis.
Did you find that?
It's kind of by the
someone
airport,
tell you that, Kurt?
No, I used the what's that website where you can look everything up?
I think it starts with a G.
Is it
Yeah,
David
yeah.
Terrio? Ask David Terrio. That's what it is.
All right, and I'll
Something that has all of human knowledge, kind of.
yes, the sum of all human
curated
knowledge in the
yeah,
planet here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I wish I could remember what it's called.
I go ask at David T edu,
There you go.
and then he answers me personally. So that's always a good thing. All right, Lisa. So let's go before we get into your third thing. Let's go to your Twitter users really quickly. I know I think I might have met all three of them actually.
Oh,
So
nice.
go ahead and talk a little bit about your Twitter users. I know two of them are Carl Lindgren Striker Omelet favorites.
Ah, nice. Well, the first one I put down was at Mrs. Fadiji, Fadeji, and that's Amy Fadiji. She is California's youngest principal. If you haven't talked to her or
good
met
for
her, that's I don't know if that's like for real, but probably she's young and dynamic and energetic, and she is really doing things in a really different way. It's awesome what she does with her staff. We talk a lot about flipping faculty meetings and having engaging professional development with your staff. She treats her staff like it is her classroom, and she is an amazing teacher. If her staff is her classroom, she's incredible. She is a principal in Petaluma. I'm sorry, in Pengrove, which is right there next to Petaluma, but Pengrove Elementary, and she's amazing. So her tweets are always really fun. She's always the life of every event, and just great energy to be around, positive. My second...
She went to our Q party.
She went to the Q party?
Yeah, we had the Q party at Allison's rental house at the Q conference. Even though Allison didn't go, we had the big party, and she was there.
All right,
She was there. It was the big Bill Selleck beer tasting beer cast.
Thank you.
That one.
What a nice segue to what I want to mention. You had said Petaluma, and even though Amy is not from Petaluma, but you know what? Take a guess. What famous, awesome brewery is in Petaluma?
You want me to guess? Because it's right down the street. It's Lagunitas.
Oh, thank you.
And I had to stop on my way home and pick up a growler for my husband.
All right, what's your favorite Lagunitas beer?
A little something, something.
That's a good one. I can't argue. I'm a big fan of Hop Stew, but that's my favorite one for me.
Okay, well, that's okay.
I saw they were voted. I saw whatever beer they had was voted the number one microbrew. I was reading some article. I probably tweeted it at you, Kurt. But yeah, I saw they were number one. It might have just been brewery. Number one microbrew in America.
Yeah,
Really?
it's amazing there too. The place is really cool. They're really close to up in Santa Rosa too. We went up to Russian River Brewing Company. Had to get some Pliny up there. So this is changing the directions. This conversation.
And welcome to Beer Chat.
Okay, we like it too.
Welcome to Techlandia.
Yeah.
Never stay on the topic too long.
Right.
But I do want to say we are all of legal drinking age.
Yes.
So it's totally appropriate for us to talk about this.
Yes. Very good.
That's right. If you're not of legal drinking age, don't drink.
Yes.
That's our social message for the day. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, Amy was good, and she was present at Bill Selleck Beer Cast. Just a great time. And then Bill Selleck took out his professional lights and all that stuff. He's that Bill Selleck's a very professional guy.
Yes, he's got it up. He's got it going.
He's got it going on. All right, so go ahead. Can you give us your second person?
Okay, my second person is Sarah Landis, and she is a gal that I am a tech coach with. So she's the English language tech coach. She was a part of the Merit program this summer, and so she's a super geek along with us. And she taught in Columbia Writers College. Actually, she worked there, and she is the workshop girl. She's so amazing with readers workshop, writers workshop, and blending it with technology. So of course that's my favorite thing, and I love working with her, and her tweets are awesome. She's a great person to follow because she's always tweeting out great video. We have a competition going on, and it's video throwdown, and so we always are tweeting out hashtag video of the day, although you shouldn't follow that hashtag because I did, and some people's version of that not educational, so not a good thing to follow. But you can follow.
Add an edu at the end or something.
I know. It just is so long. It's like so many characters. We need to shorten it. We'll have to make some. But it's kind of fun because now we kind of it's a competition. We call each other the video whisperers. So if someone needs a good video, they'll tweet us and say, I need a video about stamina. And then we're like the first one. We'll find you a good one. You know, might make you cry, but we can find you that video. So it's fun. She's really fun to follow. She's a great thinker, and she's doing amazing things with technology this year. So she's going to be fun to watch. Her Merit project is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think I met her very briefly at the Integrated Ed San Francisco. She was with you, right?
Yes, she was last year.
I did meet her. Okay, so I have met everybody. We didn't talk as much. Maybe on this next one we can talk a little bit more when I come down there.
Yeah,
and,
so...
well, all three of us will be there, I think, right? All three of us will be there.
Yeah.
I'm counting on Allison. I know Kurt will be there.
I will be there.
Kurt, what are your sessions on at Integrated Ed San Francisco, by the way?
I am talking about the importance of school culture, and then my other session is about learning space design.
Will you be autographing copies of the book that you wrote the foreword for as well?
Well, it's an e-book, so I will sign your iPad.
QR code for that.
With a Sharpie right across the screen.
Absolutely. Do people still use QR codes? I see them once in a while, but...
No, their QR codes are out there. They're out there still.
Is there a replacement?
Here, real quick. All right, so as long as we're talking throwdown, Kurt, go into give us your 30-second take on 30-Second Take by Brad Gustafson, the podcast.
All right, Brad Gustafson is a principal in Wayzata. I almost said Wayzata, which would be totally 90210. But he's in Wayzata, Minnesota, and so if you go to the hashtag 30-Second Take, or is it 30-Second Takes? I forget what it is.
No, it's 30-Second Take, and you have to put the number 30.
Yes, it's the numeral 30. Arabic numbers. Let's be specific. Okay, so Brad has two guests each. I don't know, week. Fortnight, I don't know how long it is. And, so there's a question he throws out, and then his guests have to do kind of a battle for 30 seconds about their opinion on that particular topic. And it's a pretty cool conversation, but what impresses me most is Brad's just fantastic ability to use TouchCast. I mean, he does some really, really cool things.
He does. I thought you were going to say his Mean Gene impersonation as well. Because that's what it reminds me of Mean Gene.
Absolutely. I think he mainlines Red Bull. I'm not sure what he does. Piper. And I'm not even listening to everything that they talk about because I'm just so fascinated by the production that Brad uses for TouchCast. So awesome. Nice work, Brad Gustafson.
I really just like making fun of him every time he tweets me at that one. I say, I'm waiting for the 30-second tape, but it's a 5-minute podcast. I'm calling it 4 minutes of Brad Gustafson and two other guys or gals talk for 30 seconds. That's what
they just have 30 seconds? That's it?
That's it. They have 1/3, and Brad talks for the other. Like he has like robots coming in with the sound effect and everything.
Hey, when you got TouchCast talent, you can.
That's right. He's got TouchCast skills.
Mm-hmm.
He's if you're in charge of the app TouchCast, I don't know. I think Brad needs to be your your educational spokesperson, right? Isn't that the new thing? Everybody's the educational spokesperson for something.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm nominating Brad for TouchCast.
You know, I would like to be I want to be the educational spokesperson for Lagunitas. So Lagunitas brewery people listening tonight, I'm available. I work cheap. Just give me a ring.
You just have to pay him in beverages.
Maybe we need to do a road trip when you're out here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not that far.
Let's do it. Let's do it for sure. All right, I would like to put in mind, I'm going to go for this drink right here that is $1.99 at Target, but I really need to pay less for my drinks. My mom gets so upset with me when I pay $1.99 for beverages all the time, and it's just basically flavored water. But it's so good, and it has antioxidants. Buy 5, people. I'll be your spokesperson too. You just have to pay me in drinks. That's all I need. Give me $20 a week and I'll spend it all on buy 5. Allison, what would you like to be the spokesperson for?
That's a good question.
How about Miami Device? Were you thinking
That's
Miami
a good
Device?
one. Yep, totally. I'm not
Miami
going,
Device. That
but
would
I'll
be a
be
good one. Okay.
Yes, Miami Device. Now, if you're just getting started with school, you live in the Midwest, and you would like to go somewhere fun and fabulous and gorgeous in the month of November, Miami Device is the event you want to go to, November 6th and 7th.
And we will actually have Felix on here pretty soon.
Yeah, so one of their featured keynote people is Daniel Kim, and he's the guy who puts together all the pop dance.
Oh, right. I love that guy. That guy is awesome.
Really cool work. And then some other folks you have heard of. My second and third favorite Mormons would be Jeremy McDonald, and then also David Guyman too. And my first favorite Mormon, my brother Carter. So love you, bro.
Woohoo.
But is Carter there too?
No.
He is not. He has gone home to the mothership. He is now a professor at BYU, so he will be spending his time there.
Oh, that's Mr. McNally's alma mater.
Yes. Yeah. But seriously, you know who also is there that we really love? Tony Vincent will be at. Tony
Vincent. If you look down the list of feature presenters far enough, you'll see Tech Ninja Todd. And we did find out an interesting fact about Tech Ninja Todd, which I urge everyone to take to Twitter and make fun of him for. He has never seen the movie Top Gun. And I would think that, he and Tom Cruise and Tech Ninja Todd share something in common. They're both, shall we say, height challenged, maybe. And so I thought maybe that, Todd would have seen Top Gun, one of the most American macho movies of all time. But
Pretty sure he wasn't born yet when it was.
No, he was
Maybe
born.
not.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
I don't know.
Oh,
What
come
is
on,
he?
Allison, don't give
Isn't
me
he
that.
30?
You know
Might
what?
be.
My 2-year-old is turning 2 tomorrow, and he's seen Top Gun. I make him watch it every year on his birthday. So, because it's so American.
Oh, Tech Ninja Todd. All right, but good luck to Tech Ninja Todd. It's his first year as principal, and I've been a principal for 13 years. It's a tough job. Todd, you got it in you. You can do it.
Right. And when you
It is a
start
lot.
to feel like maybe you don't have it in you, just watch Top Gun.
Watch
and
Top
you'll
Gun.
get all excited again.
I still think it's funny that he was like, "Oh, I'll have my teacher, give me a copy. I'll get it." I was like, "Yeah, are you getting out the VCR? I mean, do they have good equipment at a school? I hope so. I hope they have better equipment than VCRs. VCR DVD combo at least, hopefully."
I'm pretty
All
sure
right.
I own that on VHS.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I own that on VHS too. All right, Lisa Highfill. Hi, welcome to Lisa. What would you like to be the celebrity spokesperson for?
Well, I had time to think. I thought you were going to ask me. If I can be the spokesperson and that means I get a device from them, then it's the Ricoh Theta. I played with the Ricoh Theta this summer and love it. It's that camera that you just can hold up, and it's one click and it takes a 360 view of where you're at, and then you can upload those and you can make your own street views.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
I was on the Google campus playing with it, and I did it, and my street view on the Google campus got accepted, and I was so excited.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
know, right? It's like ownership, right? You can.
So now
think
when we
about
go
this.
on Google Maps and look at Street View for the Google campus, is it the picture you took?
There's a lot of. There's a lot.
Well, one of them. That's great.
Yeah. But think about the small places. Ricoh Suave.
He's doing Rico Suave for the Ricoh Theta.
Yeah.
There we go.
The world needs more Rico Suave.
That's a good one.
This is how Kurt's minds work. Kurt's mind works.
I thought you were going to tell us that it's a 3D printer or something. No? Okay.
No, because again, it kind of gets. I'm kind of obsessed with maps right now. because I spent the summer doing map stuff, and I think it's really cool if you're defining, again, go back to place, project, see how it all ties together, and if you could go to these places and do some street views that these cars don't go to, and you could really help bring your place to the world, actually. It's kind of neat. And I want to get kids doing that kind of project, defining their community and making some street views. I think that would be awesome. So if they sent me a camera, that would be great. They're expensive.
So, Lisa, you love maps. If you want
Yes.
to see a really cool map project and a map video,
Yes.
just go to Vimeo, or Vimeo, however you pronounce it. And there's a video called Jerry's Map. And it's just a really cool project. This guy draws his own maps. It's fascinating.
Oh, love that. Okay.
Okay, I'll put that one in the note for our Listly list, and that is good. Okay, so now we've totally cut you off from this. That was the longest segue from the second to third Twitter user to follow. But this is a Carl Lingenstreicher omelet favorite, so we have to acknowledge Rachel. So go ahead.
So Rachel Deephouse is my next favorite Twitter user, and she's just great. She is a great support. I know I could tweet out anything to her, and she's right there with the resource, or to connect you to a resource. We go back and forth with Talking Good Video, and then she shares great lessons. She does this spoken word project with a video with her students, and I just think it's amazing what she's doing. She's a fairly new teacher, and she's really has quite the pedagogy going. She was in Merit program. That's where I first met her, and then we did Playdate San Jose together, and she's just really amazing person. Love working with her. Great attitude, very positive, clever, smart girl. So.
Okay, well, it sounds like is she from California?
Oh yeah, she is.
So I can get her on the show?
Oh yeah, she'd be a good one. She has lots of neat things to share.
We'll never make it out of the state of California ever again with our guests. That's the fun part of it. Well, that's awesome. I know that Carl thinks really highly of Rachel, so that's good. I mean, I don't think I've ever met her. I just said hi to her, and then I said, I think I was talking on the phone trying to get him to come to the class dojo party. And then I was like, but Rachel Deephouse is right there. And she's like, oh, who are you? Weird guy talking on the phone. And I'm like, I'm trying to get Carl over here. And she's like, oh, okay. She thought that was fine then.
Yeah, I did.
So that's pretty good. Okay, so this kind of segues out. We're going to do our second Booklandia tomorrow or Friday with Colby Sharp. So he'll be giving 3 books for probably pretty much your elementary or middle school classrooms. That's probably, if you're an elementary or middle school language arts teacher, you can listen to that one. It's a lot shorter. We don't talk about beer. We just talk straight books, and then we let Colby do his thing, and I pretty much shut up and get out of the way, thank goodness. But Lisa, go ahead and talk about your books and the Video Whisper. You kind of already talked about Video Whisper a little bit, but go ahead and talk about your third thing on the dock then.
Well, I had... I always love to talk about good books, but you know what I think would be more interesting is my road trip.
Oh, well, that's what I want to hear about some more anyway. So all right, go ahead. All right, so here, wait, she'll talk about her third thing. Lisa loves books. Okay, now talk about your barbecue road trip.
I read on my trip.
Okay, good.
Well, we were, I live in a frat house. I think I always tell people this, that I have 2 teenage boys and a husband, and so it's seriously frat house around here, with the way, between the sports and the television they watch and the odorific, content of my house. So when it comes to let's go on vacation, there was no beaches with drinks with umbrellas in it. So we thought, you know what, we are such planned people. We are always planning things. Let's just fly to North Carolina, rent an RV, get in the RV, and drive all over the South looking for the best barbecue in the South. And so we just did that over the winter holiday. And Mom of the Year right here, I'm telling you, in the RV for 10 days with these boys. And the only thing we knew was my husband's really big into barbecue, so Pit Masters, he watches all those shows, he knows all those people, and so he kind of had an idea of where the good places were to go. We would wake up in the morning in the RV and say, where are we going today? And let's get there by dinner time, and we would go eat this barbecue. And it was Well, then we started making friends in these barbecue places, and I was blogging the whole way. So I'm in the RV with my iPad, my iPhone, my laptop, and a hotspot. And so I'm doing Instagram and Twitter and I took more pictures of barbecue. And so it was like, usually it's all school things. Well, then all these barbecue people start following me. And like the big guy, Ken Hess at, Big Bob Gibson's barbecue in Alabama. So he starts following us and getting in on it, and then he started tweeting ahead of our road trip, and he would send us to these places and say, hey, the Highfills are coming, you can't miss them, and they're totally obnoxious RV, and so take good care of them. It was the RV with like the kids looking out the window on the side. So
did you have one of those RVs that had like the big rental sign on it that said
yes.
RV America?
It was awful.
Yeah. Because those attract strangers and thieves.
Oh, yes. So downtown Memphis, that was a great thing to be driving around in. We're in this one place, and the guy's like, we're looking for parking. He's like, over here. And I looked, I'm like, oh, that gentleman doesn't have any teeth, and it's in the back alley and behind buildings. We have to trust him. I'm all,
okay,
come on.
In Memphis, did you go to Rendezvous barbecue place?
We didn't.
Oh, that's so good.
Is it?
No, it's not that good. I don't want to make you feel bad. It's terrible.
No, it was on our list.
It's like McDonald's of barbecue. Sorry.
I didn't know about it, but I have to tell you, we were in most places like one day, and there are only so many meals you could eat. It was hilarious. So we went to Memphis, and we went to, Ken said we had to go to Gus's Fried Chicken. So I'm like, okay, we got to detour a little from barbecue, have some fried chicken. Like, but everyone, family, you only get one bite, because we have like 2 other barbecue places in Memphis to get to today. So then from there we went to 2 other places, and Rendezvous just had to take a cut. We were too full. I couldn't. I would go there and I would like eat 2 bites because we just wanted to taste it. The boys, yeah, no, not so much. They were like, this is awesome.
Give me another meal.
Yeah. So we ended up creating, well, I did just this summer, put it all together in Google Tour Builder. And so you can go along on these barbecue places along with me. And Google Tour Builder is really one of my favorite new tools to use. It's based off of Google Earth, so you need the Google Earth plugin to use it. So it kind of limits if you're using Chromebooks or iOS devices or tablets, but they're working on taking out that plugin, so you could do it on any device. And so it really takes you along on the tour and plops you, like Earth does, right in front of these barbecue shops. So you could see they're right in the middle of nowhere. And then I posted the writing to it and images from it, and I also posted video from it, which is really fun, because when we were down in, we actually ended up in New Orleans for New Year's Eve, and it was crazy.
Yeah, I bet that's a little crazy.
Oh, yeah, and so here we are on Bourbon Street with teenagers. I'm like, okay, we're getting off the street. It is not like this, boys. Close your head. Like, okay, we need to leave now.
Mother of the Year, right there.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. So then we kind of went to down in the bayou in that area, and we went to this place called The Shed. And the whole time I'm there, I'm like singing Hank Williams Jr. in my head. Goodbye, Joe, we gotta go. And so I had to put that in the Google Tour Builder. So while you watch that portion of the tour, you have to listen to it. You get like some music with it as well.
Isn't that Hank Williams Sr., that song?
Oh, it is Senior? Okay, yeah. Well, the video is on my tour, so you can look at it.
I bet Hank Jr. probably did a remix with his dad. So.
Yeah. So
rule number 1: always be nice to the guests. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
Correct again.
I got my music incorrect. That's okay.
Don't be a Hank Williams jerk.
Yeah.
How many times do we have to tell you that, Kurt?
Yeah, you have to think of the remix. It's the remix with Nelly, isn't that it? It's Nelly and.
No, I think it's with Pitbull. Isn't Pitbull in every song now?
Yeah.
Because every song either has to have Pitbull, Kesha, or Rihanna. That's what I've decided.
Speaking of Pitbull, is he going to be at Miami Device?
Yes, Pitbull will be at my Miami device. But here's something startling that I've found out, and we will have Felix Giacomino on here in a couple weeks or so for sure before the end of the month, so he can tell you about it a little bit. And we will try and stop him from talking the whole time about Miami device. And in fact, he'll talk about it for a little bit and then he'll stop because he has some great things going on at his school. But I've found out that on Facebook, the older pictures of Felix resemble. All right, you ready for this one? Here we go, Lisa. Ready? They resemble. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. I want a drum roll. They resemble Sam Patterson.
Really?
Felix looks a lot like Sam Patterson. Kurt is on Facebook all the time. Tell me if I'm not. Tell me I'm wrong.
Wow.
I could see.
He looks a lot like
back when
little
Felix
like
had
Sam.
hair.
Yes, when he had hair. So anyway.
But nobody in Miami has hair. Pitbull doesn't have hair.
No.
And Felix doesn't have hair either.
I think even the Kardashians, when they were down there with their store with Dash, they shaved their hair.
That's enough. Don't talk anymore about that. That's
And we're off. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So what do you? So are you going to do any projects with the Google Tour Builder? Have you got anything after you made your big barbecue road trip? Are you planning on anything for this year with the students?
Yeah, so this year it's kind of like a theme. The typical, I know you probably saw that cartoon that's been going around with the teacher at the board saying, what'd you do on your summer vacation? And the little kid says, well, if you follow me on Twitter, you would know. Have you seen that cartoon?
No, I haven't seen that
cartoon. That cartoon is annoying the heck out of me. I like the cartoon. But Tony Sinanis had tweeted that, and then he tagged me in it, and it's gotten like 400 retweets already.
Oh, so you keep
clogging up my notifications.
Yeah.
Knock it off, Tony.
So, and then here I mention it. You're going to get more mentions. So my thinking, though, on this is let's modernize the what I did this summer essay, and let's do it place-based. And let's put a map to it, and let's have multimedia in it, and you can have writing, you can have images, and you can have video to it. I think it could be an amazing tool to tell people's stories. Imagine if you captured a family member's story, and stories from actual places. You can actually record your family member telling about the home they grew up in, and I think it could be really powerful. I really love Readers and Writers Workshop so much, and I think we can really change the way we're publishing writing, and that's kind of where I want to go this year and get people to create really meaningful place-based stories. I think it'd be really fun. It's really easy to use.
That's cool. I'm gonna try that. I would watch if Allison made one for her summer trip. I would totally watch that.
We hit some good places.
Yeah, you did. So where'd you listen to this? All right, listen to Allison's trip. All right, so right when I moved to Portland, Allison heard and she scheduled a trip real quick to be gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was last minute.
Tell what you did though, Allison. It was pretty cool.
We took the kids to DC. Lisa, have you taken your guys there?
Yeah, I did that with the 5th graders. I used to do that trip.
Oh, you take your students there?
Yeah.
That would be
in
awesome.
Williamsburg. Yeah.
And have you taken your own kids there?
Yes, I made them go with me one year.
Yeah. As soon kind of chaperones. Kind of. Come with me. You're the kids I can boss around even more.
Yeah, it's a great. Oh gosh, I love that.
Yeah, it was good. My kids are going to be a junior, a sophomore, and a 6th grade, so they were really great ages. And then we went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for about 2 days. Have you been?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I'm thinking about going there.
Loves Kurt Rees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for the mayor. Just give me a ring. Tell me to come over.
When they roll out the red carpet for you.
Right. Well, if Mayor Sam Adams was the mayor of Milwaukee, maybe that should be our new platform. Maybe we'll get old Portland Mayor Sam Adams to run for Milwaukee, and then he'll roll out the red carpet for Kurt, because I think he's kind of a wacky guy, right, Allison? Isn't Mayor Sam Adams kind of a wacky mayor?
But is he still our mayor?
No, he's not. He's former Mayor Sam Adams.
Yeah. He's a character.
I might have a good reason to go. The St. Louis Cardinals are coming to play the Brewers over September 5th, 6th, and 7th, something like that. So
okay. So go, and they took the Schlitz Brewery and they turned it into this boutique hotel.
And I love boutique hotels. So.
Well, they have. But
I'm a Motel 6 kind of guy.
Boutique in a Schlitz brewery sort of way. So, you know, it's not your typical boutique motel. It's a super cool hotel with Schlitz in the fridge waiting for you.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
I mean, come on.
All right, you know, the word boutique sounds a lot like books. Let's talk about books.
Talk about books. Well, all right, can I just tell you my vision real quick, though, there? I picture
No.
Kurt and Allison on the beer assembly line, like Laverne and Shirley, and then Kurt putting Allison's gloves and watching it go down like the Schatz Brewery. Okay, go ahead and talk about books now.
Right. Lisa, you go first. Your favorite book that you're loving right now?
Well, I am reading a total no-brainer right this minute, Sea of Tranquility, and so I guess it's one of those no-brainers. I can't seem to put it down though. But I did read Me Before You, that I really loved. I like a good story. I just want to hear. Doesn't have to be anything in particular. I do love historic fiction though a lot. So, I'm not a big nonfiction reader. I like fiction and historic fiction. So.
Is the Sea of Tranquility, I would assume it has something to do with the moon, or is it just
Isn't that Percy Jackson?
No, I think it's a young adult book. I'm in the middle of it. I'm like, I think this is for high school kids because this is way too easy. It's really, I think it's a mix between, I shouldn't even admit this out loud. I'm reading this. A mix between like a Twilight.
I knew you were going to say that.
I just said that out loud.
All right.
And I feel so guilty. But it's kind of that kind of a no-brainer that teen angst. But, you know, I do love my historic fiction, too.
Don't worry, Lisa. No one listens to the show anyway. So
okay, good.
All right, Kurt. All right, Kurt. Impress us with your big brain. What are you reading?
All right. So I do want to mention the book The Circle by Dave Eggers, and Dave wrote. He's a Chicago guy, just like you guys are.
Hey.
Dave wrote.
I thought he was California.
San Francisco.
No, he grew up in Chicago, and then he moved away when his parents were sick, and then passed away.
Yeah.
But so his book, Staggering Work of Heartbreaking Genius, something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing I read from him. But he recently wrote the book called The Circle, and it's a fictional account of a young person from the Midwest who goes and works for a company that sounds a lot like Google, who ends up taking over the world. So it is somewhat satirical, but at the same point very close to reality about just how connected our world is, and how much we think about retweets and plus ones and followers and friends and all of that. So it's a very good read. All right, so then on a more serious note, a book I'm really enjoying right now is Shaping School Culture by Kent Peterson and Terrence Deal. And it's just all about the importance of school culture, because I think too frequently right now we are all focused about just the bottom line and student achievement, and we aren't thinking about the really important things that happen in schools, especially school culture. So it's a great read. I think the book actually came out in 2002, 2003, but I'm just reading it right now, and highly recommend it, especially for school leaders. Don't just focus on test scores. Think about the culture, especially the culture among the adults who are at your school.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
I agree.
That's right. Be a Marianne Whitaker, right? If you're a school leader.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about those test scores. Just whatever.
So you want to hear what the Archdiocese of Portland has done? Which is, if it was functioned as an actual district, it would be either the second or third largest district in in Oregon, sorry. So we are not standardized testing anymore.
All right.
Really?
We're taking three assessments throughout the year that take 45 minutes. That's it, to see where the kids are at. It's not standardized testing. I mean, it's just like, I don't know how this came in through the back door, but it's like the most innovative change I've ever seen. It's just like, yep, so no more standardized tests.
Well, it's like a triple clap right there.
Seriously, all of us are parents. I mean, but is that what you want to look for in your school? Is to walk in and they say, you know what, we're standardizing everything, so we're going to treat every kid the exact same, and we'll have the same expectations. No, we don't want standardization. We want personalization.
Yep.
Exactly. That's cool. Well, good, Allison. You went back right at the right time.
It's kind of just like, oh, okay, everybody's just kind of like, well, there's a couple of us that are like, are we sure this is happening? Is that positive? So yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Don't push it. Just say that's good. Just take it and say that's what you should have been doing. Then and just don't make a big deal about it. Just keep it. Just be like, keep walking. That's cool.
We're supposed to be doing.
Okay, so I think in summary on this show, we've decided that when we all come down for the ISF Integrated Ed San Francisco conference, I think it's October 3rd and 4th. Is that right, Kurt? 3rd and 4th? That we are organizing a jailbreak to the Lagunitas Beer Brewing Company. Is that what we decided on?
We're going to be there, and then Lisa's going to take us to the best barbecue in the NoCal.
Yeah, what's the best barbecue in NoCal? Do you know?
There is Fat Matt's in Oakland.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's awesome, but you have to get there at a certain hour because they run out. So once they run out of barbecue, they're done. So that means we have to get on the other side of the bay.
Have you been to Austin, Lisa?
No, I haven't.
Where should she go if she goes there, Jen?
I never went. You know what? I forget what.
Applebee's.
They should go to the Samuelson household, the old Samuelson house. Well, we went to the Salt Lake, Alice.
Salt Lake, yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
That's my favorite place.
That's a good one, and you can actually get in there. But there's the one that runs similar to the one that you're talking about, where they run out, and it has a line that starts at like 10 in the morning. I always forget what it's called because I couldn't. What was it called?
North Main Barbecue. Is it in Euless?
No, it's Gosh, it was on. It's on. Well, if you ever see the commercial where they have the American Express commercial, and then like the sushi master chef comes over and goes to Austin and he's choosing the barbecue.
Oh.
That's the one. It's a little small place, but they start lining up really early. And I like barbecue, but I'm just not that dedicated, as chunky as I am, to get up an hour early and wait in line for the barbecue. So I think it's called Franklin's.
Barbecue. That was in The Chef. Did you guys see that movie?
No, I want to see that movie.
Oh, that is like a movie made for, and it's about food trucks and barbecue, and they go there to Franklin Barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah, so Franklin's pretty much known as the best in Austin, but you really do have to get, like, there was one day where it was really cold and raining, and I thought, God, I could wait for probably about a half hour, 45 minutes, and get some finally, but I never did. I'm lame.
Yeah, that's a must-see. Then you can see them. It's the pitmasters on it. So.
Okay, that sounds good. Lisa?
Starving.
We look forward to all meeting up in person. Maybe we'll go to Cream. We'll go get a cookies, roll everything around me. I know San Francisco a little bit now, and we can go there and we'll have fun.
I'll research some closer barbecue in the city.
And then we'll just drag Carl Lindgren Striker Omelet with us wherever we go.
Sounds good.
Okay, or we'll just make him chauffeur. He can be our designated driver.
Well, we'll just show up with our cars, so you guys will be all set.
And if anybody has an emergency around midnight, Carl can take you to the emergency room and stay with you.
Carl is very good at taking people to the emergency room. So is Jeremy McDonald, otherwise known as Mr. Technology. All right. Well, that's good. Lisa, thanks so much for being on here. We appreciate you and all you're doing. And
this is probably our best show. This is our best show ever. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sorry I was late, but Lisa, I'm totally stealing hyperdocs from you.
Oh, good. Well, I threw some links in and add to it. We're trying to build a reciprocal where teachers can put them in and take them out and check them out. And so we want to build it. We want more and more people making them.
Awesome. Great idea.
All right, well, we'll put all the links into the Listly doc, and we'll share it out eventually when I get 5 spare seconds. And those are pretty good. And thanks, Lisa. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on. This is really fun. Thanks, guys.
All right, Alice, do you have any last words?
Sorry I was late. That's it.
That was a nice little heartfelt one. Kurt, do you have any last words?
On Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin, on
With the exception
St. Louis Cardinals.
of Milwaukee.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.